Hello and welcome to my review of the Japanese PC-FX game Fire Woman Matoigumi. This game, if you're wondering what a gumi is a group or an organization in Japanese, and it really centers around this group of students on a high school campus called the Matoigumi. It's comprised of these 3 girls here and a few other members. There are some male members of the group, despite the name of the game being Fire Woman Matoigumi. And you play as a transfer student who's transferred into this school, and you encounter the Matoigumi and various other characters on the campus. You are introduced to a lot of girls, which you'll see here are featured in this opening video, and you'll have the opportunity to date them during the course of the game. You play a 1-year span of time, and you can actually choose if you want to be transferring in as a first year, second year, or third year student. But as far as I know, that bears very little on the gameplay whatsoever. But regardless, you play that 1-year period of time, and the game's very interesting in terms of the genre of game, because it kind of defies classification. You could call it a dating simulation, but your expectations wouldn't be set properly. It kind of looks like an RPG, but it's not that. It's almost more of a battle simulation on a high school campus, if with dating elements to it. And that's probably the best way I could describe it. So here you are on your first day. You've transferred in, and you saw this guy giving this girl a hard time, and the Matoigumi stepped in and helped you out because you got your butt kicked and ended up in the nurse's office. So you now have the opportunity to join the Matoigumi if you would like, not because of your fighting prowess, but because you stood up for this person, which is what the Matoigumi is about. And you can try to refuse, but if you do, your only options are yes or yes to join. So you have no choice in the matter. You must join the Matoigumi at the beginning of this game. So that's how the game starts, and here we're going to use the GAL positioning system to take a look at the campus and see where various female characters are located, and if anybody is in trouble, because that's a big responsibility of the Matoigumi, is to resolve conflict on campus, and not always violently, but frequently. So here we see that something bad is going down here. Some of these tough guys are apparently punched this girl and are extorting money, I believe, from this gentleman here. So you have the option to intervene, and this is going to be a non-peaceful intervention. So these guys are like, get him! So here we can see how the battle system works. And it's an interesting battle system. You can see you basically queue up 4 attacks. You have different attacks that are mapped to each of your buttons on your controller. And depending on how you chain these up, you basically just execute a combo. And depending on how the enemy characters you're fighting against behave, they can interrupt your combo, and it'll be either more or less effective. So dynamics kind of change a bit when you're fighting against multiple characters, but here I'm just trying to mix up the attacks a little bit and hope that I can whittle down the enemies here one by one until I get down to just one character, and that'll be a little bit easier. So here we are. I've gotten down to the one character, and hopefully this will be a piece of cake from here. Okay, there we go. So it's an interesting battle system. You can learn attacks by participating in various clubs. There are some sort of martial arts focused clubs. You have things like a boxing club and a wrestling club and a sumo club and things like that. You can learn moves there, and you have the opportunity, as you can see here, to to rescue many damsels in distress, and this is of course something that that puts you in their good graces. So when female characters like you in the game, frequently they will come and they will ask you to walk home with them, either through coincidence or sometimes via ambush. So you have the option of saying yes or no. Here I'm going to say yes, and we'll go ahead and walk home with this girl. So in addition, well, here you can see that on your days off, you also will do activities with the girls that you're getting along well with. Here we went to the pool, and this is a video that you get during your summer vacation. So depending on what character you have been interacting with the most, that you're getting along with the best, it will determine, you know, whose video you get in the middle of the game to see. So obviously I've been interacting with this girl the most, and so we're spending our summer vacation together doing fun activities that a high school couple might do. So yeah, so you have this kind of dating simulation aspect to it, but that part is not especially deep, I would say. In fact, I kind of wish it was a little deeper compared to games like Welcome to Be a Carrot or White Album. It could be fleshed out quite a bit more. So here's kind of what I would call the other part of the game is going around campus, and here we're going to do some training with the boxing club. So we're raising some stats here. You see our boxing went up. We actually learned a new move called Jab, and we got some more hit points. Our hit point meter sort of filled up more. So once you've done an activity, some training, right from the nurse's office here, which is where you start every day, you can just choose it on the list. You don't actually have to physically visit that location. You can just pick it and do the training, which is a big time saver. This campus is very large, so it's nice that you don't have to walk around it and visit all these locations all the time. This seems to be another aspect of the game, though, is wandering around campus and exploration. Probably the part of the game that I took the most issue with, to a certain extent, because I felt like this is a very large campus. This is a really interesting game, and it seems like there's kind of a lot to it, but even with as much to it as there is, it felt a little repetitive, a little barren in some aspects, and that may have had to do with my goal-oriented focus of really wanting to do well in the battle segments and really just wanting to focus on one of the girls. I think if I'd wandered around campus a little bit more, looked for different events and things going on, interacted with more of the characters, maybe I would have felt like there was a little bit more going on. But still, this is very interesting. Here you can see the different female characters, and we're at the newspaper club here, and they have the scoop on all of the characters, so you can see how well you're getting along with them during the course of the months here. And you can see I've really just been focusing on this last character here, which is sort of a straight increase. But exploring the campus does get you some benefits. Here we're in the computer lab, and this gentleman has programmed an amazing battle simulator here. So he's given this to us, and we can run it on the computer, and we're choosing to fight Hiromi, and you can see we can practice our battles outside of the, running into some bad stuff going down on the campus. So this is kind of cool. You can see here that this is a move list. At the top is the moves that are mapped to all of our buttons on the controller, and we can just go ahead and, if we get a new move, pick it off of here and map it to a button, and then we're able to use that in battle. So you can see we can unlock a lot of different moves, and each month, on the first of the month, you have the option to spar with members of the Matoigumi. And if you win against like certain characters or groups of characters, here Melon is displaying for us a new move, which she probably didn't choose to display in the best manner, considering that it landed us in the nurse's office. But you can see once we recover, we learn this double split kick move that we can use from then on. So here, this is a very comical scene. You are rewarded if you do some exploration with some funny events. That was one where we went to go. We heard that this girl was going to be posing nude for the art class, and it turned out she was not. And our punishment was being offered the opportunity to pose nude ourselves, which we did for that comical scene. Yeah, so you have this interacting with girls element here. This character, it was her birthday, so we gave her a birthday present, and here we have snatched her away from her studies for a little while to invite her out on a date. So here we're just gonna go off for a little bit and visit a coffee shop or something like that. So yeah, like I was saying, I mean, this whole dating simulation element to the game, it's a big part of the game. But I did feel like it was a little flat, at least in comparison to other games that I think had more of a really interesting love story to them. This is a little more cursory. When you combine that with the other things that are going on in the game, I think it should be greater than the sum of its parts, and I don't know if it is. Regardless, this really was a fun game to play. I played it on a Saturday, and I actually had to work a little bit to finish it up by the end of the day. I probably put a good 8 hours into the game anyway. And you play through a 1-year period of time. Here you see you get to graduation, which of course if you started as a third year it would be your graduation, and if you started as a first or second it would not. But once you get to the end of the game, it will trigger a scene with whatever of the female characters you've been getting along with the best during the year, and that's about it. You have the opportunity again at the first of every month to battle the Matoigumi. So at the beginning of the last month you get an opportunity to do that again. I was not able to defeat all 3 members of the female members of the Matoigumi simultaneously, them fighting me 3-on-1, which I was very disappointed with, because I spent most of this game trying to just train and do the different things. You can do a lot of different stuff. There's soccer, there's basketball, there's baseball, and all of these things can raise your physical stats. You can also, there's ones related to mental stats. You can read and study in the library. You can do chemistry. You can participate in art class. You can probably do cooking. There's a lot of different stuff that you can do in the game. So it's definitely open for multiple playthroughs. There's a really good chance that I'll play through this game again just to see, what it's like taking a different route and maybe focusing on some other things. I think that this game has great graphics. I really like this style, these large sprites, and this really colorful and an interesting large campus that you can wander around on. A lot of characters you can interact with. A very cool game. I would suggest giving it a shot, especially if you liked the looks of the battle system, kind of mixed in with this dating simulation element. It's a pretty interesting game. I think ultimately it could it could have synergized those elements a little bit better, and maybe just been a more engaging experience. But I think for what it is, it's engaging enough. And it's really fun to check out for a unique blend of gaming elements. I've never seen another game put these things together the way that this game does. So I hope that this review has been helpful for you for determining if you'd like to give this game a shot, and I hope that you do, and thanks for watching.